What if I told you that learning sales and getting great at sales is really about just mastering a new language? It's just like riding a bike. It's just like playing the piano. There's certain rules, there's certain terminology. That's what we're going to cover today, is the basics in today's video. My name's Devon Gall. I'm your friend and mentor in business, marketing, and sales. Let's jump right into it. These are the basics. These are some of the terms. These are some of the phrases you're going to hear commonly in all sales positions. So this is just going to give you a quick head start. So when you jump in, you're not like me and you have no clue what's going on when people are saying these phrases. This is going to help you be a step ahead of everybody else. First, understanding what is the secret sauce to sales. Well, the secret sauce is that there is no magic phrase and there is no magic bullet and there is no special incentive that you can always drop or some kind of perfect rebuttal that you can always say to close every single deal. It doesn't exist. Sales is a numbers game. It's called the law of averages plus what's called your C factors. So what are your C factors? It's your smile, it's your eye contact, and it's your enthusiasm. So you have to measure yourself. A great way to do this is to, after each interaction, rate yourself 1 out of 5 stars on what was your smile like, what was your eye contact like, and what was your enthusiasm like. And I'll tell you why this is important. When you smile, they smile. This is building likability. When you make eye contact, sustained eye contact, they said scientifically it's something like 7 to 12 seconds of sustained eye contact starts establishing trust. So you got likability and now you got trust. And enthusiasm sells. If you're enthusiastic, you're broadcasting the frequency that you're certain, you're transferring certainty that you believe in what you're selling, and then that certainty is going from you to them. The law of averages, it's a numbers game, okay? You pitch 100 people, 10 people listen, 1 to 3 sign up. This is, starting from the very tippity top of the funnel, okay? This is where you're taking a person who's not thinking about this, or you're sending them a cold email, you're cold pitching them, you're making a cold call, whatever it is. They're not even thinking about this at all. You got to talk to 100 of them. But the numbers is not, like I said in yesterday's video, the numbers is not the people. That's not what we're talking about, the numbers of people. It's the number of perfect pitches you can do. How many 4.5 star, 5-star pitches can you do? Because if you are only giving 50 of those 100 people 100% pitch, it's going to take you 200 people to get 10 people to listen to you, to get 10 people into the presentation. All right, that's what listening is. And then 1 to 3 of them are going to sign up. So you got to play the numbers. Every no is bringing you closer to your next yes. One of the great things I heard somebody tell me once is that you got to treat every no like it's $1, right? When somebody tells you no, just, okay, perfect, keep going, go to the next person. Communication, you have to understand how people communicate, okay? I've signed up people where there's been a maybe not so slight language barrier, because the number one key to communication is your body language. That's 68% of your communication. Tonality is 25%. How you're moving your voice up and down, the enthusiasm behind your voice. And then the actual words, the verbiage or whatever, the wording, what you actually say, that's only 7% of communication. People always remember how you made them feel versus what you actually talked about versus the words you actually said. So communication, it's body language, it's tonality, it's what you're making them feel like versus the words you're saying. Kissing a deal versus killing a deal. Kiss means keep it short and simple. Meaning, the best way to look at this is, can you explain your product or service to a 5-year-old? Or could a 5-year-old explain it to you? If you're trying to go and get into all this technical deep dive, over explaining this thing, going into this detail, you're killing your deal. You're keeping it long and lengthy. You're destroying certainty. Now, if they got a question about something technical, of course, you're going to have to go into that. To a degree, you don't want to go a full deep dive, but if they are not bringing up this specific part of this technical part of your product or service, don't start jumping into that. That leads to over explaining, and then the customer's feeling like this person's trying to sell it too much. This person's really trying to sell this to me. So just keep it short and simple. And they got questions, answer their questions. But again, when you answer those questions, keep those answers short and simple too. Your attitude equals your altitude. The best way I've ever heard this summed up was the more fun you have, the more money you're going to make. Okay? Because if you're having fun, you're broadcasting that energy. The prospect you're engaging with, they're having fun too. Okay? I mean, you're letting them know you believe in what you do, and you're also letting them know that you're indifferent. Like, if they don't sign up, it's not a big deal. You're just here to show them what your options are and make a friend, right? So have fun, make money. Your attitude plus your work ethic is going to equal your commission check. So the more fun you have, plus the harder you work, the more perfect pitches you bring, that's what's going to make your commission check even bigger. All right? We got the 3 P's. You have external situations and internal situations. You cannot control the externals, so you got to focus on what the things you can control. Pitch, pace, and perception are 3 things that are definitely within your control. How great is your pitch? Is it 5 stars? What's your pace? Are you talking to every single person? Are you engaging everybody with a 5-star attitude, 5-star pitch? And what's your perception? How are you dealing with the no's? How are you dealing with the rejection? Are you saying, this is going to work, I'm keep doing the stream strategy, this is going to work, it's just a numbers game? Or you're getting demoralized, you're taking it personally, and you're like letting it kind of eat you up inside. Your pitch, pace, and perception are the 3 things that you can control for sure inside your head. FFF, this is for rebuttals. We'll get more into this in a later video, but it's feel, felt, found. Your FFF. I understand how you feel. Other customers felt the same way. What they found out was insert your special rebuttal right there. And then mirroring. This is when you meet a customer at their level. Now the idea is to meet them at their level and start raising them up, getting them excited. But you can't, if they're at like a 5, you can't like come at them at like a 9, right? You got to get down at a 5, 5.5, meet them at their level, and then slowly raise them up through your excitement, through your energy. Speaking their language also helps. Mirroring their body language, speaking some of the words that they're using, repeating some of the phrases that they're saying. Don't overdo it. If you're like speaking to a Spanish customer, you don't want to just start having like a Spanish accent all of a sudden, right? So these are just some of the basic terms and terminology and phrases that you're going to encounter in any sales position. Just wanted to share that with you. This is going to put you one step ahead of everybody else in your office if you're brand new. I've trained multiple people. I've trained hundreds of people over the last decade of being in sales and marketing and working with different businesses, selling multiple products and services. And I have multiple success stories. I took a 22-year-old who was in the business under a different manager for about 6 or 7 months that wasn't really doing anything. Now he's the manager of half the state where we're at right now. And he is the #1 manager of the entire region, right? And he's only 24 now. So he worked with me for about 2 years. I took another kid who was 18, dropped out of high school to play hockey. Now he just told me yesterday that he's going to earn $35,000 in commission this month when the check drops. I'm gonna get a picture of the W-2, cross out all of his information, and post that in one of my future videos. I have another great kid. He never did sales before. What he did was he was driving Uber Eats, and he came and started working for me. He started making 6 figures, right? Oh, and he came out of the gates hot. And all of these success stories, I have more, but all of these success stories, it all boils down to I taught them the same thing. I taught each one of them the exact same thing, robotically. And that's what this sales course down below, check out the link. That's what That's what I taught them. That's it. It's the same thing I was taught. I just put it all together into a system where you can just follow it step by step. The same thing I've been doing and showing other people how to go from never doing sales before, just like somebody showed me when I started in sales and marketing, I'd never done sales before. So I could be charging a lot more for this system because it works. And if you're a up and coming salesperson, you want to make more money than you're making right now, invest in yourself. If you're a sales manager and you want to run one of the best teams, that 22-year-old kid that's 24 now, that's running the number one team, he just uses the system that I taught him. That's it. He doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's not the system that corporate taught him. I can tell you that right now, because corporate doesn't have a very good system. And I was at that company for 7-8 years, and they had a different system every single year because they had different leadership every single year. So a lot of these companies you work for, they don't really have the best training all the time. Some of these managers, they might be great people that you're working for, but they don't have the best training. They don't have the best blueprint. They don't have the best system. All right. So, and the beauty of my system is that it's simplistic. It's not all this super long, gigantic book of extra technical terms. It's all these things that make you feel like stupid. And how am I going to memorize all this gigantic book of all these crazy like philosophies and terms? It's simplistic. It's a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here on the channel, but I got it down into a system where you can just follow it exactly like it's been trained, and I've trained it for the last decade with great success. So check it out. The sales course is below.